Peace, 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 peace. It's me once again, Furious Black. Um, this one is about drawing the line. We got to draw the line between morals and non-morals, right? We have these type of people get 260,000 views on YouTube. Who knows how many Twitter followers this person has, how many Instagram followers this person has. This person would be considered, these people would be considered influencers. Influencers. We have to draw the line somewhere, man. We can't keep allowing these people that have no morals speak on morality. We can't. So check out this.
It's personal.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
But
that's why I asked
why.
why.
The shit is still happening. If you have some connection to that ever happening, then that story will touch you. But I'm real glad that these stories are being told through these fictional tales.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Oppose exists. I'm happy that this show exists, and I didn't know nothing about the show going into it. And the first thing I see is that the prominent role here is a trans.
So we're about to get into the trans community, right? Like, these people, they prop up things that go against nature. Go through my other podcasts. I've done the laws of nature, masonry, Hegelian dialectic. Law is the only thing that governs man. And when you have people that have no morals, no spiritual knowledge, or even have any allegiance to what is righteous, this is the type of foolishness that we get.
Like, those stories need to be told. So I'm happy about it. I'm appreciative of it. And yes,
It's a great show.
I did cry.
It's a great show. It
Yeah, I don't know if I was ready to share that here.
No, that's what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Yeah, no, that's
Just
fine.
none of nobody's business.
No, I went to, like I said, I went to school with a bunch of gay.
Now, these people are from notorious liberal states. And in these states, they, don't adhere to God. It's a I want to say brainwashing breeding ground, right? You go to New York now, people talk, well, not now, probably like a year, maybe 2 years ago, people were in New York talking about they don't see why people need guns. See, they was never taught, because you could hear from their arguments, that guns is actually to protect you from the government, not each other. It is to make sure that you could keep the government in check. Because if the government has guns, the military has guns, they will be able to control people, concentration camps, no-knock warrants. These things will be way more prevalent in the United States than just in certain places, democratic ran places. So that was New York, California breeding grounds for the liberals to put out experiments to say homosexuality is okay, the Constitution is bad, having a gun to protect yourself is bad, but the police can have a gun though, and then we can complain that the police are killing us unjustly, right?
gay guys, there's a few gay girls. Some are now trans as well that I went to school with. So I mean, that community is, you growing up in New York, you're around it. Maybe sometimes you don't have as close as friends as you have, but I went to school with them, so I'm cool with people from all walks of life. Like when I say that, it's like literally I have friends that I
See, there's this thing, like, I don't care about people wanting to be these different sexualities or whatever, but you're not going to teach it because it's not sound science. These people choose that, and I'm sticking to that. These people choose that.
can call gay, trans, it doesn't matter. So
I'm glad New York is colorful that way. I will say that.
culturally, yeah.
Definitely.
It wasn't in the 80s, wasn't in the 70s, wasn't even in the 90s. What changed? Then these grown ass men going into their 40s is talking about that it's okay. When did the moral compass move? When did morality change? When did right become wrong?
Yeah, I'm glad.
Which I mean, it always has been. It just was kind of more segregated in that sense. Mm-hmm. Like everyone wasn't mixing and mingling the way I think they are now, which I think is great.
Right.
Because they was always around when I was growing up. It's always a thing. Like that's always been a thing here. Mm-hmm. But you was kind of raised to come on, stay over here, don't do that type shit. Mm-hmm. Which I'm glad that's changed to some degree. We're getting to a place where
it's changed a lot. Because I remember like Joe said, in the 90s, where we were as a world is not just never mind New York. The world wasn't as focused or didn't.
You see how he just said the world is doing this? That's not true. That's not true. That's not true at all. Go look at what Putin said about homosexuality. Go look at what China said about homosexuality. Go look at what Iran said about homosexuality. This is something that is pushed to bring down the moral character of people. It's written in the books. It says these people are only strong because of their connection to God, meaning morality, law. These niggas is lawless ass men. And you expect me to respect them? I don't respect nobody that don't respect me, bro. It's okay for people to be gay. It's okay for all these things, but it's not okay for me to have multiple wives? Righteous women too? That ain't out here twerking and getting naked for OnlyFans? But these niggas, they glorify that. And look how many followers, the views they get. Go back to older video. See what I'm saying? You see? These people are influencing a group of people into nonsense.
Shine as much light and respect on that community, on the gay community, as they should. So now you start to see it like, I like to see that as normalized. It's like, yeah, they're humans. We're all humans. Like, it doesn't matter
It shouldn't be normalized.
what your sexual preference orientation is. We're humans.
Listen, I'm going to cry when people are killed for being gay. I'm going to cry when people are killed for being trans. I'm going to cry when people are killed for being black.
Well, that's what I was ready to get to.
Like,
it affects us because as black men, we know what it is to be,
Nah, I didn't choose to be black, bro. I didn't choose to be black, bro. You're not gonna come and say we know what it's like to be something that we didn't choose to be.
outcasted or for people to look at us in a negative light just because of who we are as people. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, my early friendship with my guy.
All right, I'm done right there. But we have to understand the morality that we're witnessing. They're debasing and shredding morality because they have none. They have none. And And Zion Lex gets into it. Let's hear him out.
That's very significant in light of our language, the Hebrew language, because the word for speech and the word for thing are the exact same words in Hebrew. So if I want to say speak, or if I want to say speech, I'm saying dabar, or I'm saying diber. That also means thing. Why? Because in Hebraic thought, everything you speak becomes something.
Everything we speak becomes something. So as they keep on speaking about no morals, no spiritual backbone, not being adhering to law, statutes, and commandments delivered by the Most High, this is what we're going to get. Everything starts in the mind. And then you influence people with the words that you hold and you carry with you.
Everything you speak becomes something. And if I was to step out of my comfort zone for a moment and be even more transparent and even more objective, we can go into ancient Kemet and we can also see clear correlations. There's a Netcher by the name of Ptah, who within the mythology of Kemetic spiritual system, Ptah.
See, this is the thing too. We battle each other, not understanding our connection. Facts are facts, no matter what religion or culture it comes from. The fact is going to be the fact. It may just be described different. That's why you must study it to get the full understanding of what these cultures are trying to say in their own way, to really figure out if it's false, true, or false. So him talking about Kemetic and being a Hebrew Israelite, that is not no sweat off my back, because I understand the connection of all societies.
Is said to have spoken the universe into existence through the visages or ausages of sound. In understanding that, you then will understand the connection between these great African civilizations. They're saying one and the same thing. They might be using quite literally different languages to describe the same phenomena, but nonetheless, they're describing the same phenomena. This is the type of research that Black African men and women need to uphold in our communities, as opposed to arguing over whose system is better.
Right there. So, when I'm saying that these people are not putting our best interests into account, but pushing a progressive, liberal, communist, Nazi agenda, you see it. You have to look at our conscious community and what we're saying. You have to. You can't allow these entertainers to muddy up the water and confuse our children. Period. Let's finish this out.
I always say novices disagree, but initiates behind closed door, they all agree. What I'm trying to hint towards is that people with little knowledge tend to disagree about everything.
So you see me post something on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you see people disagreeing with me, and then you don't see them in any of my other posts. They don't text me. They don't have my number. They don't DM me. They don't do none of these things. But they disagree with what I'm saying without even knowing me. To me, you actually don't know anything. Because you arguing with me about what? About Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion not being role models? What? And you got children.
People people with great knowledge, they see the commonality in all things. When you get to an upper echelon of learning, you begin to see commonality in several systems. And in seeing that commonality, now you can become a person who can play a role or a part in meshing and bringing together the different systems, the different schools of thought towards one goal, the liberation of our people.
So that's the point. We lack laws, statutes, and commandments. And these people, you know, they get up here and they talk holier than thou because they are influencers. And the liberal communist party, Nazis, Democrats, use these people to muddy the water. They do. They do. And we can't pretend that it's not true anymore. We can't pretend it's not true anymore.
Are regarded as self-taught initiates, people who claim to have secret.
At the original mattress factory, we manufactured.
So I want y'all to understand, like, what you have to understand is people do not come up with things on their own. Something had to be like he said it. He didn't just come to respecting trans and homosexuality the way he does if one of his friend's brothers didn't get killed for it.
Knowledge, yet simultaneously don't have any teachers. All of the esoteric traditions require a teacher, require someone to initiate you into the system. You cannot be a self-taught person into a deeply mystical school of thought. You have to have a teacher. And our language makes that very clear because the very term Kabbalah is rooted in the word receive.
So this is where the problem is. And with the lack of morality in the world, the lack of knowledge, the lack of care of truth for truth and facts, you know, we end up with people like this getting this many views and people like this getting this many views. It's all by design. It's all by design. We had to start to draw the line somewhere. We had to draw the line. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Hook. He drew the line in the sand. He said, "Who's with me and who's not? Who's with me and who's not?"
Which automatically entails that something is being given to you. So you have to have a teacher in order to receive these teachings. With that being said, all Kabbalah represents is the deeply esoteric aspects of the culture and language of Torah. That's all it is.
So when brothers like these, when men like these have no teachers that are upright and just, they say foolishness. They promote foolishness. They push foolishness on the people. No backlash, no nothing. I'm actually to the point where, yeah, these people need to start getting backlash. They need to get being pointed, started, they need to start being pointed out for pushing liberal communist, Nazi, Democrat talking points. Gay people understand what was happening to black people. White women understand what's happening to black women. What are we saying? What are we saying?
You'll probably hear some people say, "Oh, I have the Kabbalah. I read it before. To which you're going to hear me say, duh, anybody can read it, but it's only the initiate that understands the deeper aspect of what the tradition is trying to communicate.
All right, let's get on to the next one. Because we have to start drawing the line somewhere, man. Somewhere.
Is the man seated high and lofty above the throne? That's the.
How would you like to see 5 real-life examples of people?
We can't allow these things to happen. You feel me?
In the book of Exodus chapter 24, where it says, and they ate and they saw the God of Israel, and under his throne was like that of the brickwork of sapphire. That's primordial man. That is everyone having what is called an anthropomorphic vision of a higher view of themselves, because we are a manifestation of the divinity responsible for the creation of the world. That's
right there. Right there. We are the manifestation of the divinity that we see in the world. We got to take care of the animals, the trees, the ocean, the mountains, the rocks, the lava, the fish. We have to take care of each other. We're so sentient that we can do that. We're so sentient that there's people that are trying to deceive you to get the opportunity to do it. Global warming. Hopefully you heard of it. Global warming. This is what these people do, man. Because we're sentient beings and we're one and the same with the thing that we are on. So when people are saying these type of things, they're going against nature. They're a joke.
That's why it is taught within our circles that the man on the throne that every prophet conceives of while he's having this vision or this dream is himself. Why? Why is the prophet seeing himself seated on the throne? And the person on the throne is supposed to be a representation of God? Because the deeper message is we are all representations of the divinity. Because
I wish my camera was on. I would look dead in the camera like, do you not get it? You could, you can tell people's moral compass by the things that they choose to speak about or defend.
Because we all play an aspect of it. Hence Psalm 82 says, I said ye are gods.
So if we are gods and words manifest things, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Who's helping them manifest this? Who's helping them, this guy, manifest this foolish ass shit that he talking about?
Yes. But we fall out of line with that because we fall out of line with morality. So
does it not come full circle? Does it not come full circle? See, one that is astute and a student of the Most High, and the Most High becomes his father, he understands morality. He understands law. He understands good and evil. He understands it. He understands it. He understands it. He understands it. Now this is going to get into the next part of this whole thing. The next part. because they are uplifting immorality. They're not moral men. You know, people be like, yo, you keep on talking about women, da 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 da. No, I talk about everybody and anything wrong that I see that is evil. Period. Give a So, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Let me read it one more time because I feel like y'all didn't hear this part. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. I'm gonna just leave this right here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something. The fire is getting so bad on the West Coast. The fires are getting so bad in the West Coast that it is heating up over there. I wish I had let me see if I can get the guy that I watch. Let me see what else he got to say real quick before I go.
Being a god is not about simply having melanin. That's what we call, what do we say today? That's that love lecture. That's romanticizing information. You automatically have a divine connection because you have melanin. Come on, guys. We all know that that's BS.
All right, so you're going into something else. But let me get into this. All right. Because California heating up is actually indicative of what's happening on a bigger scale, because for some reason we fail to realize that all of this is connected.
Are you over 25? Have a clean.
We all don't understand the connection between the thing that we're in. We're in an ecosystem.
Systems in the Gulf of Mexico. We've never seen two hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico.
Here you go.
This weekend.
Yeah, I think it's important to mention before we talk about the weather how unprecedented this is.
Acres
this is not another, sensational news headline. We've never seen this before. That's how fast things are lighting on fire and burning acres across California. Let me give you some perspective on this. It's quite amazing what's happening right now, and I'm not exaggerating at all. So far, about 900,000 acres have burned across the state in 1 week. The normal for an entire season is 700,000 acres. So we're already past that.
So this is what I'm saying. Do y'all think that this is just happening out of nowhere? Last year was millions. It was a bunch of earthquakes. Now it's a bunch of fires. You think that this is just a coincidence? Yeah, rivers of blood last year, earlier this year, locusts from Africa to China. Coronavirus that's killing only old people. 2 hurricanes. This is what he was talking about in the beginning of this. 2 hurricanes going into the Gulf of Mexico. Fires, riots, Portland, Washington, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, New Orleans, Wisconsin. You think that this shit is coincidence?
1 week. This is just the beginning of fire season. 2 of those fires, the LNU and the SCU complex fires, both started by lightning, are the number 2 and number 4 largest fires in California history, all within a week. And pretty soon it'll probably take over number 1. And then lastly, most of the fire season is still ahead. September and October is the peak of hurricane season. We're going to be at the peak then, but we, still have several months to go. I mean, really, hurricane season doesn't start to wane usually until November, so it's going to be a long and really tough fire season in California. All right, so this is kind of the weather pattern that we're going to be looking at. Big dome of high pressure, so again, there's a heat wave going on. The only good news is that the dome of high pressure is going to be centered further east, so it's not going to be...
So look at this. Hot. Fires are here, 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 here. All of this just on fire.
Quite as hot over California, but this is a big problem. Notice that southerly wind flow right there. That's moisture, which I'm going to show you more of in a second or two. Temperatures, they aren't 110 in Fresno and Bakersfield. They're closer to 100 degrees, so it's an improvement from several days ago. But it's hot all across the West. There are fires ongoing in Colorado as well. And there's a drought all across the West right now. We've been in a drought as well. But it's hot all.
Come on, bro. 121, 111. Look at this. Fires in Colorado. Fires all here, 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 here. All up in here. Come on, man. These people are showing their true colors. And they push people like this into our community with this amount of people and more on their Twitter and Instagram to put out these agendas that they see fit. I don't agree with homosexuality, and I'm gonna keep it like that.
All across the West. There are fires ongoing in Colorado as well.
See?
And there's a drought all across the West right now. We've been in a drought basically on and off since the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the worst droughts the West has seen in 1,200 years. There's been research on that.
There's been research. 1,200 years? Bitch, yo. These people only been here since 1492. They only been here since 1492. So how he know something about 1,200 years ago? What paperwork he got that shows that? Oh, and if there is paperwork, that means you have the paperwork from the Native Americans and y'all been hiding it? Because don't tell me no scientist could figure out there was a fire 1,200 years ago. Fuck out of here.
Look at all that smoke that's trapped in the valleys right now. I mean, really thick smoke. It's bad for your short-term and long-term health, and it's spreading across the country. Most of it's trapped in the West, but some of it will make for hazy skies in the East. So when you look up at this,
so hazy skies in the East. This is the type of things that, average people can't fathom a evil entity doing this type of stuff. They can't fathom it. They can't think that somebody is doing this. They can't even think that far ahead. There's no way that there's people doing this. Look, central fire outside Phoenix adds to thousands of acres already ablaze in Arizona. Power lines may be at fault in raging California wildfires. Los Angeles spread 4,700 acres. Hammer spark caused largest wildland fire in California? Bullshit. Look at people dying. Come on, man. This is all California, though. U.S. West. They losing their grip. They're losing their grip. They're getting found out on every aspect. Yo, I should have. So anyway, man. I'm Furious Black. Please like the video, share the video, because we have to bring back morality and righteousness. Evil is no longer allowed out here. It's no longer allowed. It's no longer allowed. You know, we can't no longer hope I find it. That's what I'm looking for. Because, you know, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Scottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil and to do good. They have no knowledge. The evil people which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart and walk after other gods, money, fame, internet celebrity, to serve them and worship them, shall even be as this girdle, which is good for nothing. Hope I'm making a good. I hope you understand the argument that I'm putting here. I hope y'all understand the argument that I'm putting here. You know? See, it's important because look, in Genesis, it tells you the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of, for the day that thou eatest thou shalt die. And right here, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Then in Jeremiah, he says, listen, they don't even know good. They don't, but they do, but to do good, they have no knowledge. So this is what we're watching here. They're being manipulated into pushing homosexuality, not understanding what they're talking about, not understanding it, not even on a moral level, not even on a moral level. These cats push these ridiculous things. But anyway, that's it, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Oh yeah, like, subscribe if you want. I don't really care if you subscribe. Like my videos, share them. If you have anything to say about what I'm talking about, please comment and let me know what you think. And I'll get back to you. You know what I'm saying? But we have to get back to what is good and what is evil, morality, law, and nature. Without those things, we're lost. We're lost. And you can see it in these people that consider themselves influencers. All right? With that, I'm out. Peace.